This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No. Y'all,
this
just
is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Tori and Al getting along already at the end of the table there.
With my co-host.
You're just making little bickerings.
To get our makeup.
I always want to always start the show like 10 seconds early.
I know.
Pretend that we're not starting the show 10 seconds early because it's always the show before the show.
And that's the best
but
part.
That could also get us
Yes.
completely taken off the air.
That's two. That's two.
I like to stick with things that get me canceled on air. All right. Okay. So we're starting today with none of that. With the quote, doing the right thing is never the wrong thing. Could you guess who said that?
No.
I'm going to give you one more. Do you believe in ghosts? More importantly, I believe they need to believe in themselves.
Oh, man, that's funny.
Well, here's a clue why I give you another one. That believe sign above the Oval Office in the White House was from Ted Lasso, if you didn't get it. Turns out the cast from the hit TV show was there yesterday as part of President Biden's unity agenda, and Jason Sudeikis talked about the importance of mental health. Take a look.
No matter who you are, no matter where you live, no matter who you voted for, we all probably, I assume, we all know someone who has, or have been that someone ourselves actually, that's struggled, that's felt isolated, that's felt anxious, that has felt alone. It's something that we can all, and should talk about with one another when we're feeling that way, or when we recognize that in someone feeling that way. So please, we encourage everyone, and this is a big theme of the show, is like to check in with your neighbor, your coworker, your friends, your family, and ask how they're doing.
Really believe in that message. Love the show. Started rewatching it with my wife, ironically, yesterday because she hasn't watched it yet. So starting from the beginning, so funny. That's why I remembered that line. How do you feel about? Do you watch the show, and how do you feel about them at the White House?
I think I like what Biden's doing. I think Biden is opening up the conversation to things that most normal people have, meaning, I'm going to throw it back to you, junk fees. That's something you have at the dinner table. Look at my processing fees. This is ridiculous. Mental health. Today he tweeted about internet access for people in inner cities, right? I like that he's normalizing it by bringing it to that. He's normalizing it at the highest level. I appreciate the conversation because we are in dire, dire need, and our teens especially are in a high of suicidal rate. So I can't have it be spoken about enough.
I like it. And just to follow up on that and take it a step further, I find it shocking that we didn't do something as an initiative nationally to talk about mental health after the
COVID,
pandemic.
yeah.
I mean, we just act like it didn't happen,
Right.
Erica. We were in our home for years. We lost proms. We lost funerals, weddings. People, graduations. And everybody just like, yeah, mandate is lifted. Let's go to New Orleans. And it's like, yeah, let's do. But before we go, let's discuss the what we've lost and what we're looking forward to and what we're going to appreciate. There's so much good, terrible, and in all the stuff in between that I just feel like we're really sweeping under the rug, and I feel like we're going to pay for it later. So I'm glad they're bringing awareness.
Yeah, I feel like we're paying for it now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people are not the same.
No.
And not in the best of ways. A lot of people are suffering, and I think that's why a lot of people are also resonating. Ted Lasso is a great show. I've watched every season.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, I'm like
Erica
committed.
Does not watch
I'm committed to the show. Actually, it's very interesting because my first thought was that's interesting that they made the decision to go to the White House because Ted Lasso does have a fairly diverse audience. I was at a club like how do you describe it? like a business,
like a social club.
But like where people go to work and they take meetings and stuff like that. Yeah, so it was like a higher end club. Mm-hmm. And I was in the elevator with these two guys who were like probably in their 50s. They were white men. And the guy made a Ted Lasso comment to his friend, and I responded to it. And he turned and looked at me and he goes, "You watch the show?" Like he was really shocked that I watched the show. And I go, "Buddy, I think I probably know more about the show than you do, and I don't know what you're trying to imply that I watched the show."
Yeah.
Like what is? But that was really a moment where you could see the difference in like the demographics of who this show is reaching.
For sure.
So I do think that they should have that type of presence at the highest level where change can be made.
I agree. Speaking of mental health, we have some sad news about Amanda Bynes. Have you guys heard this? TMZ reported she was placed on a 5150 psychiatric hold after she was found early Sunday morning walking near downtown LA without any clothes on. She reportedly waved down a car and called 911 herself, telling the driver she was coming down from a psychiatric episode. There's also this TikTok video showing this young lady walking with Amanda on the street on Friday. You can see Amanda's kind of holding on to her, and she's not really there in her eyes if you look. This morning, TMZ reported that Amanda's parents are not considering putting her in another conservatorship, at least for now. Al, we talk about, let's just stick with Amanda Bynes. There's other celebrities that we talk about on here. Where do we go when someone has a problem like this? Conservatorships aren't the popular answer, but are they necessary?
I mean, somebody very close to me has been 50, actually 2 people. One person that's not my family, one person that's as close to me that they might as well be family. And I think it saved their lives in both situations. When we're talking about 5150, this isn't a decision you come to willy-nilly. This is something where it's like, if we don't get them off the streets now, it's a miracle they're alive right now. So the fact that they decided to bring her in, I appreciate, and the fact that she was aware herself, I think was a big deal. I think when we talk about the larger cultural message, the fact that we're not looking on the internet now and we're going to see a bunch of memes making fun of her. We're not going to see whatever the equivalent of Perez Hilton is now making fun of her. We as a society, at least when we have to acknowledge the steps we're taking, we are doing better with this. No one's laughing, no one's mocking, and anybody that would be shamed and maybe lose their account.
For sure.
So at least we are aware of this. And the sad news is, kids, this is a lifelong battle, and maybe we need to see this play out, but there's no half hour, wrap the episode up, everything's fine. This is going to be a lifelong thing. Yeah, and I think she's been diagnosed bipolar, manic depressive. I just can't imagine being Amanda Bynes, being naked in the streets, realizing I have to flag down a car. I'm somewhat of a celebrity. They might want to
celebrity.
You might want to take pictures of me. I don't have clothes on, and I'm in such a vulnerable position.
And not to mention downtown LA. People don't know. I mean,
it's not a very kind, right?
Yes,
so imagine the strength it takes to be that much of a self-advocate. Gives me a lot of hope that she's going to fight, because that is not an easy flagging down a situation. That is a very traumatic moment, I would think. I can't imagine.
Oh, yeah.
No, finish.
I just want to hear Erica's thoughts really quickly.
Well, I just thought that's one of a reoccurring nightmare for me.
Too.
Right. Being trapped outside, completely exposed.
Totally.
So the idea that this is something that is happening to her in real time is it's alarming.
Yeah, very, very, very.
All right. Coming up on DBL, a model with a 100-pound leg tells us about how she's not letting challenges stop her from achieving her dreams. You're going to want to watch that. And a first look at the mid-season trailer of Vanderpump Rules.
Oh my gosh, it's still
going. We're talking about it.
Why?
Somebody roll the clip.
Let's make sure we have Jeff's sex tape.
Wow, things are getting spicy here at DBL.
Cold-hearted snake, look into his eyes.
Let's roll that again, everybody.
Don't worry about the 30. I'll make that up anywhere.
For sure. For sure.
I have a fact that's going to blow your mind, you guys. Did you know we are closer to 2050 than 1990?
Wow.
That blows my mind.
I can't tell if that was sarcasm.
It was sarcasm.
It was? Okay, cool. Just making sure. You guys don't think that's crazy? We're closer to 2050 than 1990.
Jeff, what movie is that from? Well, I was laying it on pretty thick. That's easy.
Oh. Wait a second. Was that Tommy Boy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I got 2 for 2 today.
Yeah.
There's only 2 movies guys quote. Is it Tommy Boy? Billy Madison?
No. I got Meet the Fuckers.
Old School, we just did, and that was Meet the
Parents, What was
right?
the quote from Meet the Parents?
Jack, I don't know what we're talking about. What scene is that from?
With De Niro, when he's talking about the circle of trust?
I think so, when they're in the dressing room.
In the dressing room, right? Yeah, it was a circle of trust. Remember when he comes out and he goes, we got a bathing suit for you, go ahead. And he comes out and it's a Speedo. Yeah. And he's like, hey.
That was a good deal. A little chicken or a little fish? How about a little of both? I said.
I forgot what he says.
Yeah, he was so good because I've never seen De Niro so dry and comedic.
And how about what's his name in there? The stepfather. Why can't I think of his name?
Oh, Ellie. No,
who's the dad?
Oh, Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman.
With
Awesome.
Streisand.
Yeah.
And so fun. Remember, here's his foreskin. It goes into the fondue.
I mean, they were fantastic.
They were really good. Yeah, that's a funny movie. So
it's hard to follow up a movie like that and still
do well. Meet the Fuckers was really funny.
Right. Yeah.
And Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson was good in that.
Made this out of one piece of wood.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Bravo is really making the most out of this cheating scandal, otherwise known as Scandival on Vanderpump Rules. And for those of you who don't know, the show, Tom Sandoval, he is right there, cheated on his longtime girlfriend, Ariana, who you see there, with fellow castmate Raquel, all the way there on the right.
Okay.
Ooh, now the network released a preview of what's to come, and it's super juicy. Let's watch.
This is a full-blown love affair.
I wish we both would have tried harder.
You don't deserve one tear of mine.
She saw the both of you at the Abbey together.
You don't know what's going on between us.
I don't regret our relationship. I had so much rage in me.
You will learn how to deal with your problems.
You want anything?
For you to die.
That's juicy.
Yeah.
Listen, it's juicy.
That is like a Greek tragedy with the music at the end. For you to die.
And all filmed for our pleasure.
Yeah, because
Erica's getting into it. Come on, let's not lie.
Yeah, I had to. I didn't want to get kicked out of the Bravo community.
Yeah, that's true.
I have to keep up with Bravo. Okay, so were you surprised that they actually filmed, because there was a lot of rumors that Ariana and Tom were going to film, that Raquel was going to film with Tom. Then we have some things coming out about that. What are you surprised about so far?
Well, Raquel wasn't there from what I saw in those clips.
Right, no, not in that. That's at their house.
Exactly.
Right, the house that they still share, although he's been having an affair on her for over 7 months.
At that house.
At that house, yeah.
In the house.
So the cameras.
While she was sleeping, child. While the girlfriend was sleeping.
While you were sleeping?
Bravo to Bravo for getting it on camera so quick. These guys have been doing it for 10 years, right? So they're kind of...
They know,
once it's like riding a bike. They know if we get this on camera, despite how horrific this is going to be personally, they all wanted to be there and get this moment on camera because they're all talking about it. Bravo got what they could. There's probably something that went down a little bit before that, but then reignited when they all got together as a cast. So I'm really excited about this. I don't know why. My life is not great at this point.
Let me ask you a question. Can I ask you guys a question? My life is very sad at the moment. This is a highlight. What does Lisa Vanderpump have to do? What is she? The wizard?
So Lisa Vanderpump owns the restaurants where all the kids work at. That's where they met, and that's how the show started.
Have a mentoring? Is there some kind of?
Of course.
Oh, so she's part of the show.
So the Toms that we just mentioned. If you guys don't know the show, there's Tom, right? Lisa Vanderpump invested in that restaurant called Tom, so they could get a little stake in there.
I see.
So she is definitely their mentor. She brings them along. She's the mother figure because a lot of these people moved out to be stars in Los Angeles, right? And she's their mother figure and has been for the past 10 years.
Got it.
So they really respect her opinion on this, and it's kind of like they're her children in some sense.
Got it.
Yeah, there's a lot here because Tom Sandoval and Tom Schwartz went into business together for another restaurant that LVP did not say that she wanted to have any part of it. And now they're really suffering because a lot of people are going on Yelp and leaving these reviews because they're negative.
They're yelping.
Because they're Team Ariana, because they're so upset at Tom Sandoval for actually having an affair on Ariana, who apparently was the fan favorite because she's friends with everybody. So now they're all coming in to protect her. And now we have Lisa Vanderpump who's speaking out about what's happening. There's a reunion. Apparently everybody's watching footage from months ago, but now it's like these clues because the home wrecker is basically acknowledging that she's a homewrecker in real time. And no one would have caught on to that if Scandival did not happen. And this is what I have figured out in the past 3 weeks because I haven't watched the show since season 3.
Did we just become best friends?
We did.
Step Brothers.
We've been giving out movie lines all day. What's that? Step Brothers. Step Brothers. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. It is Step Brothers.
For some reason, I had Dumb and Dumber on my mind. I was like, no. All right, that was pretty good. We got to calm down. Coming up on DBL, a model. This is a great story. Born with a rare disease is sharing how being different can definitely be beautiful. Stick around. You're going to want to see this.
Routine is an important part of calming down and preparing yourself for a good night's rest. And your routine may include a glass of wine, a mug of tea, a pop of melatonin, or even a dose of CBD. So let's verify what we know about how and how well they work with the help of these sources. And how about we start with a glass of wine? The sedative effects of alcohol may help you wind down and fall asleep, but the Sleep Foundation says that's also been linked to poor quality, shorter sleep as the alcohol works its way through your system.
Middle of the night awakening, to drink a glass or two with your dinner, stop that, and the problem tends to go away.
How about a glass of herbal tea, like the kind that's marketed for bedtime? The benefits of natural remedies like lavender and chamomile have been studied for centuries. And this NIH study from just a few years ago finds drinking herbal tea can help alleviate insomnia symptoms. Melatonin is a naturally occurring hormone in your body that helps you fall asleep at night, and it's also available in pill form. The Mayo Clinic and NSF say taking melatonin can help with short-term sleep issues like jet lag or schedule changes. Our sources say it's not generally habit-forming, but can cause headaches, next-day drowsiness, and even bad dreams. It is important to know it's not actually fully FDA regulated. Another increasingly common, largely unregulated sleep aid is cannabidiol, or CBD in various forms. This NIH study found proper CBD use could help alleviate anxiety-related sleep issues, but says more research is needed. And the Sleep Foundation explains even in existing research, it's still unclear if the CBD is actually helping with sleep or tackling other issues like stress and pain that keep us awake. If you have a regular, healthy routine and you're still having a hard time catching Z's, it could be a good time to talk to your doctor about specific remedies that could work for you. With your Verify, I'm Abby Larico.
Welcome back to DBL. Do you celebrate things that make you different? Mahogany Jeter is a model with a 100-pound leg who went from hiding her condition to flaunting it. Earlier, we spoke with her. Take a look.
I always ask God, like, why me? Like, why did I have to have this? My diagnosis, lymphedema. So in everyone's body, they have like a lymphatic system that drains like bacteria, proteins, and all that. I have a bunch of fluid and proteins that is retained and pretty much stationary on the left side of my body. It's the doctors were able to spot it like very soon, like once I was born, because apparently my footprints was like one was larger than another. It makes you want to like hide behind your mom or any parent that's around because it's like, protect me, please.
I went pants shopping yesterday. As you can see, they're really big on the right side where I don't have lymphedema.
It made me feel very self-conscious about my body, and it made me want to hide it a lot. Like, I always wanted to wear pants. I always wanted to try to cover myself, but it was kind of pointless because obviously it's one whole side of my body, so trying to hide it is like, yeah.
Y'all, because of my condition, I never thought I could roller skate.
In 2017, cashier at Walmart, this guy came up to me and was like, I would just love to take a picture of you. And I was kind of like, huh? I was like, okay. And I don't know what told me to like contact him, but I did. Something just hit that I was like, I don't want to spend the rest of my life hiding. So then the first time I had put like my full body on the internet was like through a photo shoot. And I kind of just like fell in love with it. I just think confidence, the little kid in me always wanted, it came through modeling.
Incredible. Wow. Please welcome to the show, Mahogany Jeter.
Wow.
Oh man, unbelievable story. Mahogany, your left leg weighs around 100 pounds right now. My mom also has flare-ups, though, and you can also have them flare up. What is the highest weight your leg has been, and how do you treat it? Is there massage to get that circulation going? What do you do?
Matter of fact, so the highest weight that my leg has been, before I started physical therapy, I was 312 pounds.
Stop. Jeez Louise. Oh, my word.
Yeah. And, of course, the way to treat it, you are correct, is with massages. You have to drink plenty of water, a strict diet of, like, no salt. Wow. And then pretty much you have this big, like, mechanical sleeve that has a bunch of valves on it. And it, like, applies pressure by going, like, up and down on your leg. And it trains the fluid and everything to go through your system. Wow. So, yes.
First of all, sis, you are like absolutely. I got so emotional watching your story because there's just, if no one has told you lately, there's just something in you that like pours pure light. And I'm so excited to talk to you today. I just want to, yes.
She doesn't see it. She doesn't see this light that's coming out. I was thinking the same thing.
Me too. I was
same
thing.
It's contagious.
Amazing.
It really is. I really want to know, how does this condition affect your daily life, and especially things like clothes and shoe shopping?
Okay, so when it comes to clothes and shoe shopping, like I have to shop pretty much for one side of my body, if that makes sense. Like I have to shop for the left side, so I would get a pair of pants that would be like kind of tight or snug on the area that's affected, but then it'll be real baggy on the area that's not. And then like when it comes to shoes, I wear men's shoes because they are wider, and I wear 2 different sizes. It's been like that since I was like a kid.
Wow. Mahogany, I want to reiterate what Erica said. Your personality is infectious. I just wanted to say that to you. But some people will tell you, you're absolutely welcome, but some people will tell you, why don't you have surgery on this? Is this something that's possible?
Okay, so when it comes to the surgery is another way of managing the lymphedema. It doesn't automatically cure it or make it go away. It can help reduce the size of it, but as I was saying earlier with the physical therapy, it's like you will still have to do that regardless.
So
and then the surgery is, in some aspects, I heard, is still kind of new. So before hopping into it, I want to at least get my research, or, you know, at least make sure. But I would get the surgery if it was medically necessary. Like if a doctor told me like, okay, Mahogany, you got to have the surgery, then I would get it. And I'm not trying to stir anyone else from getting the surgery either. That's just for me.
Thank you so much for joining us today. DBL Nation, you got to follow Mahogany on social at lymph.goddess23. We thank you so much for your bravery, for sharing your story, and for being that light.
And also, if there are any fashion designers out there that might want to fashion some unique,
there you go. Thank you so much, Mahogany. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Women's History Month is a time to shine a light on the accomplishments of women in American history. Activist Anna Arnold Hedgeman was one of a few women working behind the scenes at the March on Washington in 1963. But some people on social media, including Vice President Kamala Harris, have claimed that the extent of Anna's role in the march has been left out of the history books. So let's verify. Was Anna Arnold Hedgeman one of the primary organizers of the 1963 March on Washington? Our sources are the National Women's History Museum, the U.S. National Park Service, and Minnesota State Senator Erin May Quaid. On August 28, 1963, more than 250,000 demonstrators gathered in the nation's capital to demand fair treatment and equal opportunities for Black Americans. The March on Washington is commonly credited to the Big Six, leaders representing 6 civil rights organizations. But there are no women on that list. One who should be is Anna Arnold Hedgeman. Hedgeman was instrumental in conceptualizing the march, convincing Negro American Labor Council President A. Philip Randolph to join forces with Martin Luther King Jr. after learning the two were planning separate marches. Hedgeman was the only woman on the event's planning committee, coordinating logistics, booking speakers, recruiting tens of thousands of demonstrators, and organizing transportation. Minnesota State Senator Erin May Quaid says the contributions women like Hedgeman make to historical movements are often minimized or forgotten.
It is just true that even in our best moments, we let the patriarchy get in the way. And it doesn't surprise me that the role of this woman has gone unnoticed and unrecognized for so long. But she was absolutely crucial.
So, yes, Anna Arnold Hedgeman was one of the primary organizers of the 1963 March on Washington. But her accomplishments extend beyond the march. Throughout her life, Hedgeman worked for various organizations to fight employment discrimination and other racial injustices. With your Verify, I'm Angela Ann.
Prosecutors in New York looking to charge the former president with fraud. Let's connect the dots. Back in 2016, Donald Trump's former attorney, Michael Cohen, paid adult film star Stormy Daniels to keep quiet about an alleged affair with a businessman. Well, over the course of the next year, the Trump organization then reimbursed Cohen for the $130,000 payment. The company said it was for legal fees, but documents say that wasn't the case. The New York Times reporting President Trump could face a bookkeeping fraud charge, but Mr. Trump denies any wrongdoing. Now it's up to the district attorney in New York on whether or not to file charges. He would have to prove the former president knowingly falsified documents. A felony conviction could carry up to 4 years in prison. Any potential trial could still be more than a year away, meaning the former president could have to stand trial in the middle of his presidential campaign. And if the DA moves forward, Mr. Trump would become the first former president to ever face criminal charges. And that is Connecting the Dots.
Welcome back. If you plan on remodeling your bathroom, we've got some 2023 trends you may want to consider. We're talking about it in today's tips, sponsored by Jacuzzi. So according to design experts, a top trend this year is decorative lighting. This can add an artistic element to your bathroom while still being functional. Another trend, tile wall designs. Tile can be installed on the walls in place of paint or wallpaper to add texture to your space. If you want to start your remodel, Jacuzzi can help you do it the right way with a spa-like experience. Jacuzzi offers an unmatched, stress-free remodeling process. Visit JacuzziBathRemodel.com or call 800-523-1523. We're going to sneak in this last story about Thor before we go. Actor Chris Hemsworth and his wife played a prank on their son, and not everyone is loving it. So they smashed, and he's 9 years old, a birthday cake in his face. Some said it was in good fun. Others said it was violent.
Oh, gosh.
Give me a hoot and a holler.
Yeah.
Give me a hoot and a holler.
I'm not down with that. I don't really like the pie in the face. I don't like it at a wedding. I don't get like why like my beautiful wife, I would now smash cake on her face on her best day. But if that's a tradition you're into, I get it. But it's not violence. It's just not for you.
Look at the faces. They were all smiling and enjoying it.
We can't tell what the person.
Yeah, exactly. I could just see my dad like, I know you're not gonna stick your nasty face in my brand new cake. We're gonna eat that.
Roosevelt.
Anytime you can interject Roosevelt into a conversation, it's a good day. We'll see you tomorrow.